Hey, paisanos! You're watching the Nerd Buffet Mario Week show.
Beware, I hunger.
10, 9,
8, 7,
6,
5,
4,
3,
2,
1.
proceed with the countdown.
Yay, Mario. Your turn.
I can celebrate all the time about Mario. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's Mario Day or it's after Mario Day or what day it really is.
It's awesome.
If you
that
tell
it's a
me
Mario
we can
Day,
talk
though.
about Mario,
I'm glad there's a Mario Day.
Speaking of talking about Mario, let's talk about Mario.
He's ready to get to
okay.
the list.
I don't know what you're wanting to talk about, Mario. How about like the top 5 Mario games ever?
That sounds fantastic.
That's a pretty steep hill, guys. That's
And don't get this confused with any like spin-off games because we actually just did a list about that a little while back. So make sure you click.
These are our picks for the top 5 mainline Mario games. Mainline into my veins.
We
Mario
promised.
games.
I don't know if we did this on air, but we did promise that we were going to do some pretty extreme and controversial lists, and this is one, I think.
Super controversial.
And let's get started with the controversy now.
Number 5.
Number 5 for the Wii U. Super Mario 3D World.
To be fair, didn't they put that on Switch too?
No, this
didn't.
game is not on Switch.
They didn't?
But
Not
like
yet.
everything else on the Wii U, it'll be on Switch.
So this game was fun. It introduced 4-player 3D Mario.
Didn't
simultaneous.
introduce.
Right?
You're thinking of New Super Mario Brothers, which is side-scrolling 4 players.
Right, but I said 3D.
Okay. Tom's right. I was wrong. So you won't get that much out of me for it.
You guys had me confused for a second.
But yes, you could play as Mario, Luigi, Princess, who retained her power. This game from Mario 2, where she could float. All of the characters, and then Toad was the 4th character. You could unlock a few others, but we won't get into that. All of them kind of retained their power from Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah.
And played like those characters. And also was the 7 like fairies. So a lot of things from Mario 2 carried out over to this game, which made me feel really...
Honestly, I never really thought about that. I just kind of accepted it. But that's probably one of my favorite things about it.
There was no Wart. It was Bowser. But
One thing that didn't come over from Mario 2 was Cat Mario, which is awesome.
yeah, Cat Mario is awesome.
Some people
Cat power. Is good.
My nephew would always come because nobody else that we know, not a lot of people bought the Wii U, obviously, but he was always wanting to play Cat Mario at my parents' house, and he had his Switch there,
Yeah.
but he didn't have a Wii U, and I was like, Eli, no,
Poor child.
Cat Mario's at Jake's house with the kitty cats.
That's awesome. For number 4, we have one of my personal favorites of all time, Super Mario 64.
Of course.
How could you not have that on here?
It's a great game, and it's fun to come back to still. What I think is neat now, I've got some friends that you and I met in the music world who now do streaming, and I don't understand how, but I've watched them now do like quick plays of it, and it's outrageous how fast you can beat that game.
I don't doubt it, but yeah.
That game set the precedence, and it's still the blueprint where all like 3D platformers are made. I know they've kind of fallen out of favor now, but there are a few indie games that have come out that have followed that formula, and so I mean it earns a spot on the list just for that.
A lot of games, especially that time, tried to emulate what Mario brought to the table, to the party, and failed trying to do. There were a few games that did follow suit well, like Banjo-Kazooie, I would say, is kind of like Mario 64, but Mario 64 earned its spot on the list easily.
Easily, yes. For number 3, Tom, we have...
Number 3, we chose Super Mario Odyssey. Admittedly, I don't have a lot of experience with Odyssey. I played a little bit at Jake's, because I don't own a Switch, and boo. But
Boo hiss.
boo hiss. But from what I played and from what I've seen online, it's another great game in the same vein as Mario 64. A lot of people doing speed runs and ridiculous jumps and stuff I've seen on that game too. So
And speaking of Mario 64, that's what people love about the game. Is it feels like, although all these are mainline games, and between, if you want to talk mainline games, you had after Mario 64, you had Sunshine, you had the Galaxies, you had the 3D world that we talked about. But this one felt truest to form without any sort of weird gimmick had aside. It felt truest to form like Mario 64.
Yeah.
There were a lot of references in Mario in that game to Mario 64. After you beat the story, spoilers, you go to the castle. The castle looks exactly like an updated version of the Mario 64 castle. And instead of power moons, you collect stars at the castle, which make the old sound for collecting them, which was awesome. So
Now we go back for number 2 and number 1, but we'll get there. Going
controversy
back
again.
a little bit maybe, but this goes back for me to my childhood, and I remember for my 4th or 5th birthday getting a Super Nintendo like for Christmas, and this game was with it, and we have Super Mario All-Stars, which we might be cheating a little bit, but that's okay.
It's our countdown. And if you have something to say, then
Comment.
screw you.
You have to subscribe and then comment.
I felt this was a perfect place to place it here. So on Super Mario All-Stars, you have Mario, the original Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers 2, Super Mario Brothers 3. We couldn't really...
And the Lost Levels.
And Lost Level.
Yep.
Or Super Mario Brothers 2 Japan.
Right.
I was talking to Tanya about that the other day, how confusing the numbering is.
A little bit,
that.
yeah. That's okay.
Anyway, sidebar on that. But this game, we couldn't choose where we wanted the individual games on the list. It would have filled up the whole list. So we cheated and put All-Stars at 2.
Yeah.
It works.
Yeah, I have a lot of memories from being a child. I think this is where when you say childhood, where a lot lot of gaming skills now come from is just replaying this game
I get that.
insanely.
Yeah, and no, I can't think of much in the way of beating nostalgia points versus these games.
Have you guys actually played through? Speaking of All Stars, have you actually played through the Lost Levels?
Yeah.
That game is really, really like trolly towards the player.
The first question block you get is a mushroom, and
Yeah.
if you don't
It
know,
poisons
you're just like,
you.
oh, here's a mushroom, pick it up, dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. I always felt like that was
It's like Mario
the
Maker
underrated
before
one,
Mario
though.
Maker.
Yeah.
But and for number 1, what else could there possibly be other than
Hotel Mario.
sorry, Tom.
It was nice that you guys watched our video. And, no.
No, for real though, Jake. I'll let you.
We have
be
Super
honest.
Mario World. Let's get real. Super Mario Brothers 4, Super Mario World. So good. This was like a launch game for the Super Nintendo. Just is the game. If somebody says let's play Mario, that's what comes to my head.
I
Number
agree.
1 game.
Yeah.
Let's play some old school Mario. Pick it up, and this is one of those games where I love playing it for myself, and I also love when people watch me play because I know all of the secret stuff in it. And it's like, oh, hey, did you know about this?
He does like to make people watch him play it. I don't know how many times where he'd come to my house back when I was living with my parents, and I'd have the Super Nintendo hooked up, and he's like, oh, Mario. And then I'm like, well, I guess I don't get to play games for 4 hours.
Well, and this is a 2-player game.
Well, Tommy would die.
Yeah.
And because he'd be like, when you
Well,
have a
this was
little
usually
brother,
late
when you have a little
night.
brother
This was
that's
usually
4
late
years old,
night.
yeah, late night, drunk. When you have a little brother that's 4 years old, and then you're playing with them, and you're like, well, I'll play with them just because they're gonna die from the first Goomba. They won't know to jump over it. Not quite that, but close.
Around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces.
Not that bad.
Oh, come on, man! You got to go to the secret little secret world where you just keep getting life after life after life after
Yeah.
life, and give him some, throw him some. his
Yeah,
way.
that
That's how
was
it
kind of
goes.
the nice thing about it.
And this game was the introduction to Yoshi, was it?
Yes. I mean,
Most people-
technically, yeah.
Yeah. Most people's introduction to Yoshi because he did have Yoshi's Cookie on NES, which did come out before 64, but also the Super Nintendo was out at that time.
No, nothing beats this for me, and I think we all agree on that. This is the quintessential Mario game.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if anyone else disagrees, you're wrong.
But you should still comment. You should still like, and you should definitely get a prescription, because we're going to still be talking about Mario stuff for quite a while.
Lots more Mario videos to check out. So check out our Mario videos.
You don't get a prescription.
Oh, goodness. We should probably stop threatening our viewers.
I know, you're right. I'm sorry.
They're not here to get blown up by the bomb either.
Well, that's kind of a form of...
Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step, and then again, let's do the Mario all together now. You got it. It's the Mario. Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step, and then again, let's do the Mario all together now. Come on now,